Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. All right, this would be, the conclusion of, the segments I've been doing, ways to strengthen the mind. So this would be part 3, which I'm going to finish it off. And, Lord willing, this segment as well is edifying unto brothers out there, and with the rest of these points that I would hit, Lord willing, it may strengthen the brother out there in some way, shape, form, or fashion. All right, so with that, I'm at point 13, and it says, endurance in the face of failure. View failure as an opportunity to grow and improve, not a reason to give up. Be willing to keep trying until you get it right. And that's with anything, just in life in general. And how the scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's older he will not depart from him. When you're training up your child, along the way, they're going to make those stumbles, those bumbles, fall a million times, through the different things in which you're training them on. But what you encourage them to continue to push on, and at what they're going to get better at whatever it is that they're endeavoring. So that's how it is with us within this truth, because real quick, the scriptures say, this is Proverbs 24:16, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Okay, so what? A righteous man will fall 7 times and riseth up again, man. So as we walk within this truth, we're going to constantly mess up, but we're not supposed to look at our mess ups as failures, just to, down ourselves and, to constantly be in that woe is me spirit, which in times when you do get like that, you got to, know how to be able to pick yourself up through the spirit, to be able to get out of that spirit, but you're supposed to look at that as an opportunity to grow. Thoroughly look at that situation, see whether whatever the situation was, did you use the bad timing? Was you in the wrong spirit at the moment? Whatever the situation may be, you take whatever you can by reflecting upon that situation and, picking up the pieces, so to speak, and moving on forward and growing from that situation. Everything that which we go through within this truth, we're supposed to grow from it, not get weaker, man. The times is approaching us where we have to, build that thick skin, within this truth and for the love of YAHAWASHI. Okay? And it says, view failure as an opportunity to grow and to improve, not a reason to give up. Be willing to keep trying until you get it right. And, the ultimate example, of somebody that kept trying until they got it right was our big brother YAHAWASHI. When we look at YAHAWASHI, he's been on this earth, as Adam, as Isaac, you know what I'm saying? King Solomon, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth, through his different reincarnations, that he sinned in his different incarnations. But he kept pushing forward, and then the last time he walked upon the face of the earth as YAHAWASHI, he got it right. He was perfect with the Lord. Okay, he didn't sin. So how the scriptures say, mark the perfect man. So we're supposed to be striving to be perfect men within this truth. And even though we're striving to be like our big brother YAHAWASHI, we can never actually be perfect. But the fact that we constantly put in that effort to strive for that perfection, the Lord Yahweh himself is willing to accept that, man. So that's a beautiful thing. And that's great mercy that YAHAWASHI is showing unto us, even though we constantly go off on a daily basis, whether if it's, something of the law or something unknowingly, that's great love, man. So, we got to constantly have that mindset to, just to keep, keep pushing on, man, So, verse 4, I'll say verse 14, number 14, unwavering positivity. Stay positive, especially when you encounter negative people. Elevate them, never bring yourself down. Don't allow naysayers to ruin the spirit of what you're accomplishing. And that could be a point right there for new brothers coming into the faith. you into this truth, you into this word, you like what you hear and all of that, and you believe in the word. But then, you know, since you're new to this, you know, you may have people coming up against you. You know what I'm saying? Your parents, you know, people at your, you know what I'm saying, your family members. You know, when you first come into the truth, you're real zealous for the word, so might be trying to tell people on your job and stuff like that, which isn't wisdom, something you shouldn't be doing. You know, but ultimately, you know, different people coming at you from different avenues, that can put a negative spirit upon you to make you doubt the truth. You know, so you're supposed to be in the spirit to know what you're into, truly believe in it, and to try to convince them if possible. And that's ultimately what we do on out there on them highways and byways. You know, people that come up, you know, they're maybe in different, you know, Methodist doctrine, Baptist doctrine, you know, Christianity, whatever shape, form, or fashion, or whatever God, so-called God that they believe in. You know, we're actually trying to convince them. You know, how the scriptures say, therefore, through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Okay? So that's what we're trying to, convince the gainsayers and convince the people to let them know that YAHAWASHI is real, you know, and that the times are approaching us are all recorded within the scriptures. We're trying to convince them because maybe they could be of the hope for elect, you know. As it says right here, Titus 1:9. Holding fast the faithful word as he have been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. And that's exactly, you know, like how I was just getting into. And, you know, because I remember before, you know, the brothers from San Francisco camp, they was getting on some guy out there, and then another guy, you know, that used to gainsay them, you know, came by, and, you know, he was actually encouraging them brothers, and he was saying the name and all of that. So you never know how YAHAWASHI can actually turn things around, you know. But at the end of the day, if somebody don't get it, then hey, they don't get it, you know. And we just keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? Searching for the hopeful elect, all right? So this is yeah, number 15. Matter of fact, still in 14. When it says, don't allow naysayers to ruin the spirit of what you're accomplishing. Because what we're supposed to be accomplishing and hope to accomplish, you know, is to finish this thing strong, finish this race strong. You know, we're not supposed to be, you know, as I get into, we're not supposed to be getting weaker. Instead, we're supposed to be getting stronger. So you got to constantly have the goal within your mind to know what you're striving for, you know. Number 15, it says contentment. Don't waste time being envious of anyone else's car, house, spouse, job, or family. Instead, be grateful for what you have. Focus. Okay, matter of fact, let me, based upon that, let me grab this scripture. What Paul said by saying, don't be envious of all of that stuff. You know, being content with what you have. It says in Philippians 4:12, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through YAHAWASHI, which strengthened me. Okay, so as it's saying, what? Be grateful for what you have, you know, because sometimes, you know, you may be in the spirit, well, I need more money or whatever the case may be, or I need this or I need that, you know. But sometimes we just got to constantly remind ourselves that, you know, YAHAWASHI has us within his hands. And we're good right where the Lord wants us to be at, man. And if need be, if the Lord want to, you know, increase us as far as maybe some substance or whatever the case may be, it's only going to be out of need, because of your situation. Every brother's situation is different. You have some brothers that may not have children, okay? The Most High may give them a lot or may not. But if he doesn't, it's just for them to go through that path and to struggle, you know what I'm saying, by themselves. But if he does, in turn, the Lord might increase that brother with more substance. That's alone, just to benefit the gospel, to help brothers out, to be so brothers can actually lean upon him in times of need. You know, the Most High does everything in miraculous ways, man. So you never know how the Most High truly works. Or you may have a brother that may have multiple kids. You know, the Lord is going to give him his substance according to his situation. If you have 2 kids, the Lord going to give you according to exactly what you need. If you got a car note, or, you know what I'm saying, different things like that, the Most High always going to provide for his elect. You know, the scriptures say, I've never seen the righteous forsaken their breaking bread. So at times, you know, you're going to struggle, but at the end of the day, the Lord is always going to give you exactly what you need to sustain for you to continue within this truth. Now, you can make mistakes upon yourself and, you know, not having good money habits, so on and so forth, and not having the discipline, you know, to go about things in the right manner and put yourself in jams, you know. But the Most High is not going to jam us up, you know, to the point where we can't hold down our bare necessities, you know. So we got to keep those type of things in mind, you know. Yeah, matter of fact, let me go to Timothy's. Yeah, it is 1 Timothy 6 and 10. But godliness with great content with Salakia. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Okay, so godliness with contentment, that's great gain within itself, because having the maturity to know that, you know, the Lord has you right where he wants you to be, that's gain in itself, because you recognize this. You know, you have, you know, a lot of people in certain situations to where, you know, they're fussing about more when they're driving themselves crazy. You know, the scriptures speak on, you know, many that chase after riches, getting into the book of Sirach, you know, wind up falling into perdition, wind up falling into sin. What, after chasing money, you know? So just knowing the fact that, you know, we're good where the Lord wants us to be, that's gain in itself, because we are already ahead of the game. So if the Lord is willing to bless us with anything else on top of that, we just look at that as extras. You know, extra money maybe for your pocket, extra money to actually help the brotherhood out, or to pay tithes, offerings, whatsoever, what have you. You know, you got to look at everything in that type of perspective, you know what I'm saying? And not, you know, thinking of everything as yourself, you know, just wanting more money just for you to ball out of control and do all that type of thing. You know, we're not supposed to be in the spirit of the world. We're supposed to be in the spirit of humbleness and humility, and knowing what we're striving for, and knowing that the riches of this world are truly not riches. They're just tools just to help us get by on the day-to-day for us to continue on to push this truth, you know. So going to point, I'm still on point 15. It says, focus on what you've achieved and what you're going to achieve, instead of looking over your shoulder and being envious of what someone else has. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we have us being into this truth, you know, is all through the grace and spirit of YAHAWASHI. So for the Lord allowing us to come this far, however much time you have in the truth, look at that as strength, you know. Not that we've really achieved something as within this context, but what, we're making great progress, and we want to hope and pray that the Lord continues to make us better within the spirit, to make us grow within the spirit, to allow us to grow within the spirit, man. You know, that's great within itself. And you know what we hope to achieve. That the goal of everlasting life, man. That's the greatest achievement that any man could ever have. Even though, you know, majority, billions and billions of people out there can't see that, but all that matters is that you see that. You individually within yourself, in your own 2 eyes and your spiritual eye, that you can see that. That's the greatest thing ever. That's all that matters. You know. Number 16. It says this tenacity. It comes down to just 3 words. Never give up. All right. And I'm going to look up this word tenacity real quick. And it says, the quality or fact of being able to grip something firmly. Grip. The sheer tenacity of the limpet. Okay. So what? It's the quality or fact of being able to grip something firmly, but never giving up. So what? When we hold on, as what we're holding on to the truth. Matter of fact, let me just get that. Since it hit my spirit to get ready to quote it. All right, this is Hebrews 10 and 22. Let us draw near with a true heart, okay, in full assurance of faith, okay. I'm going to look up the word assurance. A positive declaration intended to give confidence, okay, a promise. So what we're supposed to have full assurance, meaning what we're supposed to be declaring to the world, that we have confidence that YAHAWASHI is going to come through and deliver us. You know, we're supposed to have assurance and confidence, you know, that the Lord will allow us to continue to fight until the end. Because if we don't have that confidence in YAHAWASHI, then we're through. You know, in the book of Sirach, it says, be not confident in the plain way. What's that plain way? Being confident within yourself, boasting about yourself, being prideful, okay? But what? We're supposed to be confident that YAHAWASHI can perform all things for us and to get us through the hour of temptation, Lord's will, okay? So it says, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. All right. So I'm going to continue on in point. I'm going to go to the next point, point 17. It says, a strong inner compass. Okay. When your sense of direction is deeply internalized, you never have to worry about becoming lost. Stay true to your course. And what we have to stay true to being on this in the straight gate, man. Stay true to the course. Stay true to YAHAWASHI, okay? Because the minute somebody falls out, what they prove that they were never of YAHAWASHI, man, okay? But all those that are out there in the world, you know, that may have given up on YAHAWASHI, as point 17, a strong inner compass. When your sense of direction is deeply internalized, you never have to worry about becoming lost. Stay true to your course. Okay, so what? We want to stay true to our course. And what is our course? That narrow and that straight gate, man. Okay, that billions of people on this earth is not following. But the Lord allow us to be on this path. So we want to continue, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, on that yellow brick road, so to speak, man. And it said what? When your sense of direction is deeply internalized, you never have to worry about becoming lost. All right? So you got to constantly know where you're headed for. Okay? That's the main thing. Because you got to look at things as like refreshers. Okay? We all know that we're Hebrew Israelites. We all know, you know, that the kingdom is coming soon. We all know that the prophecies is coming to pass. I mean, so on and so forth. We all know that we hope to be of the hopeful elect. But at those times in which you're weak, or times in which, you know, America just starts to feel like a big ass blur, because all this is truly is a dream anyway, you got to refresh yourself. You need a refresher. You know, like the brother War always gets into, you know, like about refreshing, like with a fast. And, you know, and that's how I feel as well. You know, like when you put up a fast, you know, you feel refreshed. You feel like you got a fresh start again. You know what I'm saying? Your body, you know what I'm saying? You feel a little more clear-headed, so on and so forth, and you can focus a lot better. So it's those times where you know what you have to do, but you have to remind yourself why you're doing it, to encourage yourself to keep pushing on, man. Because everybody needs that push. And sometimes, you know, you might be caught up in your own thoughts. You got to push yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how it be sometimes. You know, Satan will try to have you, you know, in a certain type of a spirit, an ill spirit, a sluggish spirit, whatever the case may be. But you got to know, you got to be motivation for yourself sometimes, okay? And knowing what you have in front of you, which is the kingdom, which is everlasting life, right here is right here before your hands, man. You know, you got to be able to see that. You got to be able to envision that. All right. So real quick, it's the book of Sirach, 33. I believe it's 33. No, it's like it's 37. Okay. Yeah, checking the camera. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, and start at 14. For a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower. So, you know, that could be different spirits or different thoughts that's within your head, on your mind at any given time. But what it says in verse 15, and above all this, pray to the Most High that He will direct thy way in truth. Okay, so what? The Most High is our compass. The Most High is our guide, man. You know, the Most High brought us from out of the ways of the world in which we thought was the right way. How the scriptures say, Proverbs 14:12, there's a way which seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So therefore, being that, you know, within our own fleshly minds in the world, we thought that we knew which way to go, but the Most High actually was that compass for us to steer our life, to steer our path in the way that He wanted us to go, which is actually beneficial for us as far as salvation and not being caught up in the ways of the world and, you know, being destroyed with 2/3 here in America and with all these Edomites and these other nations here, man. You know, so the Most High is our compass. So having that strong inner compass, that's having a strong spirit of belief in YAHAWASHI and knowing that YAHAWASHI is not going to steer you in the wrong direction, man. That's having that trust. That's having that faith, you know. And this is the last point, point 18. It's locking. Let me check this real quick. Okay. It's point 18. It says uncompromising standards. All right. It says tough times or business difficulties aren't good reasons to lower the bar. Keep your standards high. That's why the scriptures say, give diligence to make your call and election sure. And, you know, in Corinthians 10:13, you know, it pretty much gets into, you know, there no temptation have taken you as such is common to man. So at times where you might get in, you know, like a kind of a woe is me spirit, so on and so forth, don't allow yourself to lower your own standards for this truth. You know, you got to keep that bar exactly where you put it at. You know, when you look at the Olympic Games, right, and I think it's called the high bar or something to that effect, you know, say for instance, they put it at 5 feet, you know, and that's their bare minimum. They hit that 5 feet, now they can go 5.5 or 6 feet or 7 feet, so on and so forth. You know, once you reach a certain standard, you want to keep that bar. You don't want to go underneath that bar. There's going to be times where you're going to get higher on the bar, and sometimes where you're going to get lower. But you never want to go underneath a certain standard. You got to have those uncompromising standards. And you know, as a man, you know what, we're supposed to have uncompromising standards. What in the way we demand respect from women. You know, how we conduct ourselves. And, you know, what ultimately gives us our uncompromising standards, the law, statutes, and commandments in which we follow. Because we're not supposed to go against them, against YAHAWASHI for anything or for anyone. Now, of course, you know, you're going to have your slip-ups and stuff like that. But ultimately, you got to have the mind frame that, no, I'm not going to go against the Lord. The Lord is my power. The Lord is the only person I could truly trust in. So I'm not going to compromise my integrity, and I'm not going to compromise my salvation for the next person, man. You know, that's important, being in this truth, okay? So tough times or business difficulties aren't good reasons to lower the bar. Keep your standards high. You know, always thinking positive, as I was getting to earlier, okay? And it says, I'm going to just read the last little bit it has up here. Becoming a mentally strong person takes practice and mindfulness. It requires tuning into your bad habits and making a point of learning new habits to replace them. And sometimes it simply means learning to get out of your own way to let things happen. And ultimately, you know, what this all gets into is what? Examining yourself, okay? Learning your habits about yourself, knowing how to better yourself. 2 Corinthians 13:5, the end is, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that YAHAWASHI is in you, except ye be reprobates. Okay, so what? We got to know ourselves. That's the whole point of me getting into all of these different points in these different segments. All it truly boils down to is this scripture right here about examining ourselves, man. You know, and through all those different points, you can see how you're supposed to examine yourself, you know, to be a better brother, you know what I'm saying, amongst the brotherhood and whom you deal with, better brother overall, you know, a better man of the Lord, you know, in doing his work and pushing his work and constantly striving for that perfection, man. You know, with so many different avenues into this truth, you know, in which we all have to pay attention to. That's why it's so important for us to examine ourselves daily, man, on a daily basis, man. You know, so, you know, with that, I just hope this segment was edifying. I like to get into stuff like this because it's all, like I said, it's all about examining ourselves. You're your own worst enemy. We all are. So, by tuning into ourselves is the only way, and praying unto the Lord is the only way, we're going to correct our ways and truly be considered perfect in the eyes of YAHAWASHI. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith, live with love and true sincerity. Shalawam.